So let's talk about our next story here. So so it's very interesting, right? We we get excited for like new things, right? Like, I remember Christmas every year, if it was a good year, there'd be reason to be excited for, what's going on, what are we getting, open those presents up. Let's see what we get, right? But then sometimes you get something, you're just like, yeah, this really wasn't what I wanted. It's not really working as well as it should. It's kind of a piece of shit, to be perfectly honest with you. And that is what I'm afraid we've gotten with HBO Max. We seem to open this gift up, played around with it a little bit, and realize, oh, it's kind of just a piece of shit. And I don't mean to be too blunt, but that's pretty much what we can hear. So this article comes to us by way of the Wrap. So it basically explains that there are some titles that are actually leaving HBO Max just after exactly 1 month of being out there. And so this particular article talks about how how Tim Burton's Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Catwoman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, Jonah Hex, as well as The Losers, which I think are all DC properties, unless I'm mistaken. There's some sort of weird DC thing going on with
Yeah.
them, and so all those things are leaving HBO Max starting with July 1st. They'll apparently be back at some point in time, but they are leaving HBO Max for now. It is not immediately, and this is a quote from the article. It is not immediately clear why the films will be only available, or why the films will only be available for the first month of the new streaming services launch, or when they might return. So HBO Max has a collection of DC movies that will rotate on the platform. A new batch coming in July, and then another batch coming in August. And the batch that is on right now will be returning. What?
So you know what this is? You know what this is? It's like when you have let's say you have people over, right? You're having a little get together at your place. The guests start to arrive. There's always that like one friend or that like the one or two friends who will come and they'll be like, "Oh, this shit isn't as lit as I hope it was. I was hoping it would be." So they're like, "Hey, yo, I'm about to like make a quick run somewhere real quick," and it's all very vague. They don't. There's no like destination. They don't use any specific details. Like, yo, I'm about to go run somewhere real quick to do this one thing. I'm gonna be back, at some point in time, right? Just because it sucks, and I feel like that's what DC saw here, and they're like, this HBO Max shit is not really hot like that. So let's go make a run. Let's go see if we can shop our content around elsewhere. And if we can't find another buyer, then we'll come back to the HBO Max party. But we're gonna get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
It's really kind of just stupid, right? Like that's exactly what it's like. It's just like, we're just going to dip out, and we're not really going to say why, but we're just going to leave. And I'm sure it has something to do with some sort of contracts and the rights to properties, and I don't know. I'm sure it's very complicated, or perhaps it's not complicated. I just don't give a shit to actually like look it up and try to explain it all. The main thing I want to kind of focus on is just like, if you're HBO Max, what exactly are you bringing to the table that's different than any of your other iterations of like streaming platforms at this current moment in time? Like, what is different literally about HBO Max from HBO Now, from HBO Go? And I even watched videos explaining to me what the difference was, and I still don't know what the fuck the difference is. I have no idea.
No, I think their marketing team has probably spent millions of dollars trying to like, all right, we got to create short videos across multiple platforms. We got to have all of this marketing around it, and no, I don't even think they really know. They're just like, we're gonna market it as different. We don't know what the difference is. Just say different a lot and say new a lot, and say G Unit one more time. and, and hopefully people will sign up. You know why I think Batman Forever and whatever may have left was like, was Christopher Nolan's Batman there?
Not on the list of things leaving. No.
but like it's going to be on HBO
I
Max,
believe
right?
so, yes, unless they're that stupid as well.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's like Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. They got to the party and they saw Christopher Nolan's Batman there, and they're like, man, fuck this. We're gonna go somewhere else.
Where we're
But
appreciated.
they'll be back though. They'll come back like, y'all got any beer left? Light beer, pumpkin spice.
You got any of those lime margaritas for us? um and so like I'm honestly wondering like what the actual use is of an HBO Max, and I'm sure that they've got some original programming that they are in development for or are going to drop at some time, but yeah, and I guess that's this is why that they did the whole thing with Zack Snyder, right? That they needed to like have some sort of jolt of energy into HBO Max because they've got literally nothing else other than the fact that it's called HBO Max. There is nothing else that's exciting about this, and I guess they get more content from because I think it's really weird and convoluted. So I think HBO is owned by Warner Brothers, and then in turn, Warner Brothers is owned by AT&T, or there's like a merger. I don't know exactly what the pecking order is there. There's some relationship between all three of those, and so I guess they have a broader access to the Warner Brothers content library. But to be perfectly fucking honest, like, and we're gonna talk about another, something else on their in their library that they're getting rid of, at least for now. Um, but to be perfectly honest, like, and I don't even know if Home Alone's even a part of that library, but let's just use Home Alone for instance. I don't give a shit. Like, look, it's been Home Alone's been out for like half of my life. Like, I've if I haven't watched it by now, or if I feel nostalgic, then I'll fucking buy it if I feel that serious about it. I don't need to get an entire streaming service in order to stream that fucking movie. So it's like, what else are you bringing? This is why Netflix. It's always like I remember when all these streaming services were announced. Everybody's like, oh, "This is the death of Netflix. How are they going to compete?" Well, I tried to explain at that moment in time that Netflix moved away from licensing other people's shit and started creating their own shit with Stranger Things, with I don't know, whatever,
Narco.
Narcos, everything, right? That they fucking produce. They moved into that area because they saw that that would be more profitable in the end, is to create their own streams where that's what brings people to the table, is what's the new shit for me, right? It's not let's rehash that old shit that everybody's already watched. It's what's new. And so a lot of these streaming services are finding it extremely hard to have that compete, right? Even Disney Plus right now, and coronavirus fucked them all the way up by by delaying Falcon and Winter Soldier, as well as WandaVision, all those things that people were hyped, right? Everybody was hyped for Mandalorian, but after season one, everybody's like, all right, what else you got for me? And Disney Plus is like, I mean, I don't know, I got some chips over there in the corner you could have. They're a little stale, but I mean,
Chips and dip over there. That 40 people have already put their hands in.
oh my god. So yeah, so all these, weirdly enough, the only streaming service that I think is actually kind of getting it right, outside of course Netflix right now, is at least one of the new ones that's getting it right, is weirdly enough Apple TV Plus, which nobody fucking talks about. Which all they do is put out banger after banger, right? The morning show banger. Fuck, what else did they put out? They put out something else that I was like, oh yo, that shit kind of knocks a little bit. It was like either a show or a movie. Anyways, but they've got shit that's like actually like good, versus just like, and it's new shit. It's not just old shit, it's new shit. Now of course they have access to like unlimited amounts of money, so that might help. But also these other fucking companies should have thought about that beforehand. And so yeah. Yeah, weird shit out of HBO Max, but oh the fuck well, it wasn't like I was going to get it anyways. So who gives a shit?
You know what these streaming services need to do? Like, if the next streaming service that comes, you got to give me a gift with signing up.
Mm.
Send me a T-shirt, socks, some underwear. Like, if you sign up, here's a box of fucking organic popcorn with like no pesticides, gluten free, for all the fucking gluten people out there. Like, there's got to be something. Like, my credit score needs to go up like 2 or 3, right? Like, something. Fuck. Like, they just want you to sign up, and they're like, well, we have like content. It's like, no, like Netflix has better content. Like, what else are you gonna give
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, yeah, they definitely need to start sending some shit out, or like offer you good advice, like start giving you like dating advice. Like, look, we have access, we have access to all of our data that we've mined, our viewership. For per your profile, here's the women that are interested in these particular.
And they need to have somebody call you like, bro, this is a baddie like in your building on the 8th floor who also likes 4 of the shows. Like, she's on her way down now. She's in the elevator. Go, go. Like, they need to have it like be that precise. Other than that, why am I gonna sign up?
Oh shit! All right, let's move the fuck on. Oh, and also in the comment section below, let us fucking know, man. Like, how do you feel about HBO Max? Do you have it? Do you like it? Are you anticipating some of these perhaps some of the new things at the long term future that they're going to come out with that ideally would be hitting. Are you anticipating that, or are you just into the old shit that they have? Let us know in the comment section below how you feel about it. All right. With all that being said, let's move on to our next story.